Greetings and thank you for tuning in to My Journey with Paula G. We'd like to thank our underwriters, the Good Actor Studio of Marietta, Georgia, my coffee shop at East Lake, Pastor's Time International Bible College, Augusta, Georgia, with Dr. Paul and Marcia Kelly, Creekside Dental Incorporated of Douglasville, Georgia, Lusu Designs with Brandon Sampson of Maryland, Survival Radio Network and Clicks Photography by Clark Garrison, and Positive Power XXI Christian Media and Radio Network with Journey Was Live worldwide. We hope you enjoyed this presentation and tune in again. Embrace the journey with Paula G.
Welcome to My Journey with Paula G, where we juggle this journey called life while walking in the gifts and the talents that God has given us. Thank you all so much for joining us on this journey. We are so incredibly appreciative. And if this is your first time on the journey, we welcome you. We welcome you to the journey. You know, I had a radio show for several years, and I would always open my show with this. And I believe I've opened this show a few times with this as well. That time is precious. It is the one thing that you cannot get back. So for you to think it not robbery to spend this time with us, we truly, truly appreciate you, and we pray that you will be blessed by what you hear or what you see here on My Journey with Paula G. You know, during this particular season that we all find ourselves in, we're finding that we're having to navigate things a little differently while continuing to walk in the gifts and the talents that God has given us. And for us here at My Journey with Paula G, we are no different. You may have noticed that the shows are coming from different sets. You've seen different sets, and today is no different. We are incredibly, incredibly appreciative and pleased to be able to be coming to you from the Good Acting Studio out of Atlanta, Georgia, with Michael Mario Good, the owner. This is a wonderful place. It is the home of the total actor, and we really feel like we're home here at the Good Acting Studio, so we thank him so very much. Also, the team behind the camera, Elevate Productions, with Josh, Roland, and India, an up-and-coming production company. We may be talking to them a little bit later on in another episode down the road. We'll be excited to hear what it is that they're doing. I'm telling you, these young people, when God places a gift and talent in them, they just get out there and they just start doing it. Not like my generation. You know, we got to think about things. But anyway, that's another conversation. But we thank them so much. And also, Nick and Princess Star of Young Voices United, making a difference in the community through the arts with our youth. We thank them so very much as well for joining us here on the journey. Well, I'm so excited to be speaking with this gentleman today. It's just an honor to be able to be speaking with him today, especially here. It's really an emotional moment here, and this is really going to be an emotional show, so hopefully I won't shed a tear or two, but it just warms my heart and warms my soul. But before we do that, I want to share with you a jewel on the journey. And for those of you who may be viewing for the first time, you may be wondering, what is a jewel on the journey? Each time that we have had a live event, to include our previous live recordings here at the Good Acting Studio, I always have the guests to fill out a little index card with their favorite quote, scripture, word of encouragement. That way they can stay connected with us as well as staying connected with you through this word of encouragement and scripture. And today, our word of encouragement comes from Miss Wanisha Spencer. I have held many things in my hands, and I have lost them all. But whatever I have placed in God's hand, that I still possess. Let that marinate over your soul for a moment. Let that marinate. Well, it is that time. Oh my gosh. This gentleman, best known for his role as Detective Sergeant Neil Washington on the long-running hit series, which was probably the first police show, Hill Street Blues. He was also nominated for a Primetime Emmy for Best Supporting Actor in a Drama Series, and the show itself actually won a People's Choice Award for Best Best Drama Series. He is a noted, legendary actor in television and stage. He is phenomenal. He is Mr. Taurean Blacque. Oh my goodness. I'm trying to stay focused here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being here and for being able to pour into our audience, you know, your wisdom and all that you have done. You have quite a career in television and in stage, but you took a break from that.
Yes.
To do something that is just incredible, and I know it's going to bless this audience. So share with us what it was that you did. You took a break from acting. Share with us what it was that you did.
I have 13 children, 11 adopted children. Yeah, so I took a little hiatus from acting. Not really a hiatus, but a little step back a minute to raise my kids. As a matter of fact, most of them have grown up here in Georgia. Yeah, they have. They went to the Southwest School.
Yeah, Southwest DeKalb.
Yes, at Martin Luther King Jr. High School. And they're all out of the house now.
So you're an empty nester now.
Empty nester.
But that was an incredible feat for you, because at that particular time, share with the audience. Because it's really huge. Share with the audience why it was so incredible.
Well, to me, I remember this woman came to our church, white woman, and they were trying to get people to adopt, be foster parents.
Yeah.
And I showed up at the meeting, and she said, "Why are you here?" And I said, "I want to be a foster parent, or adoptive parent." She said, "Well, that's impossible." Impossible? Why? She said, "You have 3 strikes against you. You're male, you're black, and you're single." I said, "What?" I said, "I'm going to prove you're wrong. I'm going to adopt, because kids need me as much as I need them."
And this was in the 70s?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I was in the midst of doing starting Hill Street. And so here I am now. I was one of the first black men to step forward, to be put in that position. And President Bush saw me on an article, read an article, and he said, "This is the man. This is who I want to represent us." So they sent for us, me and all my tribe, to Washington, and they made me the national spokesperson for adoption service.
National spokesperson for adoption. Wow.
Now you see, white woman in the audience, you see, I'm still black, I'm still a male, and I'm still single, and I'm the national spokesperson for adoption services.
Look at God.
Look at God.
Look at God. 13 children.
I have 2 biological and 11 adopted.
Wow. That speaks to a man with a huge heart to take in so many children. So kind of take us a little bit through, because these were small children.
Only babies.
They were babies.
Yeah, most of them were babies. So it was amazing, because I have 2 sets of siblings. My 2 oldest ones that I adopted when they were 5, they were twins, and a pet family of 5 children that I kept together, brothers and sisters. Like I said, they were all grown now, though. They were a blessing.
But that was important to you to keep those
together as much as I could.
Yes,
to keep them together, because people say, "Well, I can't. It's too much for me. I can't do that. How can you do it with 5 or 7 or 11 children?" Well, God is good.
All the time.
It's good.
So speaking of children, you took a break from your career, which was incredible, because it was an incredible career. You took a break, and you adopted these children.
Yes.
And in the course of this as well, there's a young man. We're going to talk a little bit about him in the next segment. We talked a bit about him at the top of the show. But Michael Mario Good, when you and I were talking earlier, we were talking a bit about mentorship. And you've poured into him a bit as well. So we only have like maybe a minute or so. Can you just give us a taste of what it is that we're going to talk about with the audience in the second half?
Well, Michael, he's done a terrific, fantastic. He's blessed the studio that he has to allow people, young people now, that we didn't have in the day. To have a place to experiment and to learn, to learn how to act, just to learn the art.
Yeah. Yes.
I met Mario 2002. We were doing Kenny Leon's inaugural show, Princess.
So we're going to talk about that in the next segment. I'm gonna hit the pause button right there. We're going to talk about that in the next segment. If you're just joining us, this is My Journey with Paula G. We are having a conversation with the legendary Mr. Taurean Blacque. He shared with us a bit about his journey of adopting 13 children. When we come back in the next segment, we're going to talk about his role with Michael Mario Good, the Good Acting Studio, and the impact he has had. This is My Journey with Paula G. We'll be back in a moment.
Deeply rooted, all the seeds that grew into the roots. Manifesting this version of you, showing up in chapter 22. It's like love is drifting. I really thought that this time it was true, but my heart feels like it's been used. A paper plate you throw away when you throw. Healing's therapeutic, healing it hurts. Makes you see things you try to divert. Break down the walls that you build real tough. From a callous heart says enough is enough. 2 seconds from bitter, I feel all the pain. Shaking hands, resting like what a good game. I feel like I'm losing to something I crave. Like this love thing just ain't meant for me. Sing it out. Sugar, yeah, make some medicine. Make some medicine drown. Make some medicine drown, yeah. Chase the pain away.
Welcome back to My Journey with Paula G, where we juggle this journey called life while walking in the gifts and talents that God has given us. And before the break, we were having a conversation with Mr. Taurean Blacque. He was sharing with us his journey of being an adopted parent at a time where it was unheard of. And single, black man, and what was the third one?
Single, black, and what's the other one?
It was the third. It was three of them.
Three of them, right.
3 strikes that were against him at the time.
Single, yeah.
And just an amazing journey of raising 13 children. And before the break, we were talking a bit about, raising children, being a mentor, and how he has been a mentor to Michael Mario Good. And we were talking a bit about that connection, and I'll let him finish sharing with us that connection that you have with Michael, how you all met through True Colors. Kenny Leon, share with us.
Yeah, it was 2002. We were doing the inauguration piece for True Colors, and it was Princess.
Yes.
It was Princess.
Yes.
And that's when I met Michael. Michael sort of became one of our, assistants who comes to tell you 10 minutes, 15 minutes. He was a pain in the butt.
Barking orders.
Yeah, but he still is. All right?
Well, we love him.
We love him. We love him. That's how we met.
Yes.
And over the years, Michael and I became tight, and I tried to share everything that I could with him. I was like a mentor to him.
Yeah.
And as God had it, we wound up working together in the production that we did. It was called Sins of the Father. Sins of the Father. I was his grandfather at the time, and Nick Starr was his father.
Yes, we mentioned Nick earlier. Yes, we mentioned
so we performed it at the National Arts Festival of Blacque here, and in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, at the National Theater Festival. But Mike has been a really true friend, a good friend. I'm so happy for all his success that he deserves it too, because he works hard. He works very hard, and to see this thing flourish like it has, because of Michael and the Good Acting Theater.
Yeah.
I mean, because there were only 2 people that had the training besides Michael, is Young Voices with Nick and
Yes,
Nick
with Nick
Starr
and
and the Princess, right?
Now speaking of training, there is an approach, a mission statement that Michael has, and I want to share this with you because it's relative to the conversation. Good Acting Studio embraces the beginner, the advanced, and professional actor in a way that stimulates the imagination and creativity which lies beneath the soul of every human being. Training for the total actor. Talk to us about the soul of an actor, and again, the connection with Michael and what you saw in him as well.
Well, excuse me, I saw a drive that he had to be successful like he is. To step outside of the box of being just an actor, by being an instructor, an actor. And he did that. He did that on his own. So I'm really proud of him. We thought maybe he was going to continue acting, just acting, not to be the CEO, the one with the boss, But he's done a wonderful, amazing job. He, like I said, he came in the next episode of Young Voices, Young Voices, which Nick has done a hell of a job with that. I mean, look at his people,
Yes, because even, and that's why I was saying at the top of the show, this is such an emotional show because it speaks to family, it speaks to mentoring, the mentoring of a generation of talented actors such as yourself. Yes, and then pouring into the next generation, and that of Michael Mario Good, of Elevate Productions with Josh and Roland and India, that pouring into that next generation, and that's what it's all about, you all. We're talking about this, juggling this journey called life. We are indeed using the gifts and talents that God has given us, but we're also pouring into the next generation. And it's like you've spent a lifetime doing that between your own children and then your other children, such as Michael and others that you've poured into.
So it's been wonderful. I mean, excuse me. Look what we have here in this generation.
Yes.
The Star Kids. The Star Kids. Princess and Nick Star and their kids.
Yeah, Star with 2 R's. I always say Star with 2 R's.
Right.
Yes, and as an actor in the 70s, being a pioneer, can you take us back just a little bit and share with us some of the challenges that you had during that time?
Getting a job. That was the number one challenge. But during that time, during the 70s, that was the exploitation films, because that's what they were called anyhow. But I was fortunate enough to be in Hollywood with my son, my oldest son. He was there for a screen test, and I went with him. As a matter of fact, he had his screen test, I had my screen test. And the producer called me up and asked me would I want to work on the Red Fox show.
Oh.
Yeah. Who wouldn't? That was
Bless
my
his
first
heart.
one. That was his bless heart. So that started it, and then the show started rolling in one after the next,
Yeah, and speaking of Red Fox, we have a photo here. Now, some of y'all, I don't know, some of y'all may...
Oh, my gosh.
may remember this, but
over
this...
50 years ago.
Yes, but this goes way back. This was a time, now we turn on the television, we turn on the radio, and, we...
I was young and good looking.
And you were... You're still good looking, y'all. You have truly been blessed. You have truly been blessed. As a spiritually driven man, and you have to be a spiritually driven man to be able to pour into the lives of so many young people. What can you share with our audience?
Excuse me. I was living up in Baldwin Hills in California, very exclusive part of the city, and I had this big house because of the success of the show. It's a big house. I said, nobody's here. My 2 kids are grown on their own. I said, God, why have you blessed me like this? And I looked up. It said, children. Children. That's what this house is for, children. Fill it with children.
Bless you with a big house to fill.
With children.
The quiver, fill your quiver with the arrows. Come on now.
Yes, he did. So that's the message I got. So that's out the ball, the road.
And that's that. Like I said, that indeed has been a journey. And it's so. I think it's just so encouraging, and it's just wonderful to be able to sit at the feet of wisdom. You know, our time always goes so quickly when we're having these conversations. We only have a couple minutes left. Can you share with the audience some words of wisdom that you want them to walk away with?
Well, we have to take care of one another, especially our children. Our children need us, you know. Don't be afraid to adopt. Me, I didn't want to be a celebrity going around telling people what to do if I hadn't done it myself.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, I had to do it myself. So I can tell you from my heart,
yes.
You can do it. It's real. And these children, they need us. Yeah. They need us. Yeah. And we need them.
Yeah. We need each other.
Yes.
You know, we need each other. You know, what it is that we have done and what we have been through.
To pass on.
Passing on to them, and they in turn, you know, they take the torch, they carry the baton, and they move on and do great and wonderful things. And you know, I hope that I know that each and every one of you have been blessed. There you go. Have been blessed by this conversation with this gentleman, Mr. Taurean Blacque. And you know, if we all have a heart. And we have a heart, and we need to use that to serve others, to give back to others, to pour into others. Yes. And as we talk about this journey in life, that is the thing that we need to do, is to pour into others. Yes. I pray that you all have been blessed. I know you all have been blessed. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you to the Good Acting Studio, Michael Mario Good, India, Roland, Josh, thank you so much. Elevate Productions, Nick and Princess Star, Young Voices United. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, that the greatest conversation you will ever have is the one that takes place in between your ears. What are you speaking to yourself? Is God a part of that conversation? And are you listening to his still small voice? Until next time, embrace the journey.
Showing up in chapter 22. It's like love is drifting. I really thought that this time it was true, but my heart feels like it's been used. A paper plate you throw away when you throw. Healing's therapeutic, healing it hurts. Makes you see things you try to divert. Break down the walls that you build real tough. From a callous heart says enough is enough. 2 seconds from bitter, I feel all the pain. Shaking hands, resting like a water good game. I feel like I'm losing to something I crave. Like this love thing just ain't meant for me. Sing it out. Sugar, yeah, make some medicine. Make some medicine drown. Make some medicine drown, yeah. Chase the pain away. But only for now. Yeah. I studied real hard, but failed to test them. I ain't allowed to cry, cause the tears keep falling. I know I love hard, but I thought you was worth it. The world moves on, no matter what you feel. I wanna let it go, but it's so hard to heal. Believe me when I say I want you to thrive. But the weight of this exchange seems like a lie. You said thank you for sacrificing your heart. At the end of every sacrifice, you risk losing parts. I gotta get this out, I gotta vomit what's inside. To the root, so I move on with my life. It's joy in the morning, purpose in the pain. Was cutting up the weeds, but they growing back again. I'm singing to a root, not really singing to a man, but a rose got thorns for a reason. Sugar, make some medicine, make the medicine drown. Make the medicine drown, yeah. Chase us, chase the pain away, but only for now. Yeah, only for now, yeah.
It's the greatest gift, being here with you, resting in your arms. Well, it's all I wanna do. I thought that I could find in people what only you can give. Contentment, a reason to live. I am never alone. You love me as your own. Too busy for me. You run the world and the galaxies, and you still make time for me. Finding your embrace was the most crazy.